everyone, welcome back to the channel and to the campaign. So we're at Elst again. This time the Germans are attacking, trying to take it back, so I felt like I would try and hold on to it. So again, me and Charlie are fighting over it. Something to note, we are trying out one of the new missions. It's Bypass, which is kind of like Armored Fury, but Armored Fury changed its name, but there's no objectives in the Defender's deployment zone, and the Defender doesn't go first. So interesting. I also have scattered delayed reserves. I do have ambush, but my opponent is immediate. So I think it's going to be quite tricky to defend in this one, but it does give me the hope that I can launch my own little assault if I can. But there we go. You'll notice that this video is a little shorter. It's not because it was a short game, it's because we only did recaps of the phases because it was a remote game. We did it that way. Luckily we did, because it would have taken a while, because it took us 2 days to film it, because we were short on time on the first day. So yeah, could have been almost 2 hours if we'd filmed everything, and it would have only put you guys into a fit of despair based on the quality of one of our rolling early on, which you will soon find out. So we'll have a little look at the lists first. You can see there's a lot of Firestorm units involved on both sides, and that is it. So hope you enjoy. So here is Charlie's attacking list today. So it is from Berlin, German. It is a Clausewitz Panzersturm company. So basically we have a HQ of 2 STG teams with a half track. We then have 2 full platoons of Panzersturms. So that is 7 teams with STG 44s, 4 half tracks, one of which has an anti-tank gun. Please note that this also has an anti-tank gun as well. In formation as well is 4 12cm mortars and 3 triple centimeter AA guns. In support, we have 3 Vesps and a Panzer III OP and a lucky card rounding up the initial 50 points. Firestorm support, we have a full Fallschirmjäger platoon of 10 teams with Panzerfaust and a Grenadier platoon of 7 rifle MG teams. Key unit today, I reckon, well, a new unit we're seeing today is the Clausewitz Panzersturm platoon. So I think it'd been quite handy with the STG 44s. The only thing good for me is that they're reluctant. So hopefully that might come into it a bit. Now for me, Frost's Para company. So I've not used this formation yet. So we have a HQ of 2 SMG teams. We then have 2 Frost Para platoons. These are also Firestorm units. So that is 7 teams with a Piat. All of my list is in formation, so we'll continue on. We have a glider pilot platoon. So that is 9 teams with 2 Piats, and these guys are good. We have the max number of 6-pounders, which is 2. We have 3 3-inch mortars, 4 Vickers heavy machine guns, and 4 75mm howitzers. And we have 4 Jeeps, airborne recce troop, which I can't wait to use and will be my focus unit because I've been looking forward to using them. They're for a scout unit, not bad, careful, fearless, last stand on a 4, and veteran as well. But I won't be able to charge into contact because they are an armoured tank team. So yes, teams cannot charge into contact and must break off if assaulted. So, but hopefully they can do a decent job. So this is another sector of Uden Road, Elst Road, very similar to Uden Road, but the Paras have decided to mount their defence here, and Charlie and his Germans are going to try and smash through my defence, well, the half of the defence that I have, but it could be a difficult game for me with the amount of armoured troops he has, and the fact I have to have reserves and they're delayed and scattered, so not fun, but interested to try out this new mission. Okay, so we are deployed, objectives are down and everything else. So basically the Germans will be attacking from here, the British are defending this corner here, and they have objectives over here. So I also get objectives, so there's one here and here, so basically as far apart and as far forward as I can get them. And then the Germans are in this little cluster over here. So my reserves are delayed and scattered, so they can come here or in the two corners. So this corner, please. So how we're deployed, we have the glider troops and the howitzers in reserve, and we have the 2 6-pounders in ambush, because that's my only real answer to the half tracks. So we have 2nd platoon in this corner by here. We have the mortars clustered around this building. We have 1st platoon here and in some buildings. HQ is in this building and the building with the red roof, and upper floors of these buildings have the Vickers heavy machine guns, and then we have the recce jeeps behind. The Germans have all their half tracks minus the HQ in reserve. Over here we have the Vesps and the Grenadier platoon with the 12cm mortars and the OP. We have the HQ here on the road, and then we have the Fallschirmjäger on the far left. And that is it. So remember, Germans get first turn, they have immediate reserves. I have delayed reserves, so it's all about keeping them. Oh, and these objectives don't become live until turn 3. Okay, so German motivation step, movement, shooting, all in one go here. So basically no reserves came on, there was nothing to motivate. The Vesps moved up to here, and that's it, because nothing else has moved, so everything else has stayed put. The Germans can't shoot anyway because of meet and engagement rules. So we go into British turn 1, and I have nothing to motivate, and I can't bring in reserves, so we'll see what happens with my movement. Okay, so British movement. My boys here have done a tactical move and a follow me. I don't know why I said tactical move, it's their terrain dash. This unit has moved out. I'm going to attempt to follow me with them as well. Which I fail, so unit leader will end up by here, and that will end their movement. Everything else has remained stationary. So in the shooting step, I'm going to range in. My 2 ICs in the red building, and I'm going to be ranging in on to where the 12cm mortars are, and it's going to be my 3-inch mortars doing that. So we'll come back and see if I manage to hit anything. Okay, so British shooting, I ranged in final attempt with my 3-inch mortars here, which is marker A. I got no hits, and then I ranged in first attempt with the Vickers heavy machine guns. Basically the HQ spotted, so basically all attempts needed a 5. I got 2 hits with the Vickers, which would pin them, but I got no kills. So that is it for my turn. So we go into turn 2. And Charlie has a chance to motivate his 12cm mortars on a 5+. Oh, nice. And then you got 2 dice for reserves. Nothing. Okie dokes. So we go into German movement summary. German movement, there was none. And then shooting, the 12cm mortars ranged in by the side of the church using the HQ. Ranged in first attempt, and they killed the rifle team and the only Piat in that platoon. And then the Vesps ranged in here thanks to the OP. First attempt, and they killed another rifle team. So ominous start for artillery here. So next up, we go into British turn 2. So we have a rally test on the paratroopers here on a 5, so I can roll above a 2. And then the paratroopers here, do they rally? No, they roll a 2, so they're going to stay there and go to ground, because they're already in bulletproof cover anyway. They're going to be happy enough, and nothing for reserves for me. Movement, these guys are going to continue their movement towards the objectives. Okay, so British movement, these guys moved over again, albeit with a few less guys, and they passed their follow me. These guys just staying stationary, and now we go into artillery, so we will see what happens. Okay, so I got 2 hits with the 3-inch mortars, which resulted in 1 kill, and the Vickers missed everything. And that is it. So now we go into German turn 3. So first thing we have is a rally test on a 5 up on the 12cm mortars.
Is the HQ nearby?
No. Too far away, sorry for a reroll. Okay, and then you have 3 dice for reserves, which means you will get reserves in this turn.
Yeah. Well, I got 3 so I'll just get 1.
Just get 1. So what's it going to be?
Yeah. Oh, it'd be as good it is.
Okay, excellent. So we'll come back after German movement. So German movement, the reserves that come on did a cross-country dash, and you can see here a failed follow me, and the HQ is coming over to help them out. So now we go into shooting, which I'm dreading because the Vesps are having a repeat bombardment on my boys in the building, and the 12cm mortars have been fairly successful so far. But what is going to spot for them? They might be able to spot for themselves. They probably will, so we'll come back and see what happens. Okay, German shooting. The 12cm mortars ranged in first attempt over here and killed another paratrooper. There was another hit on the paratroopers here, but luckily the firepower failed, so my guys are okay for now. So we go into British turn 3. We have a rally test by here. These boys are fearless. They pass. And then we have a rally test on my paratroopers here, and they fail again on a 2-up because they don't like it, which is a problem. And then I have 1 dice for reserves, which I don't get them in. So we move into British movement. So British movement, I move my paratroopers into the woods, and the jeeps have done a cross-country dash this way with a follow me. And that is it. So now we're going to go into shooting. I'm going to repeat my bombardment with the 3-inch mortars and see if I can pick off another 12cm mortar. Hopefully I can. Okay, so the 3-inch mortars missed. Vickers got a hit, but that was enough to pin them, and they're just outside of reroll range. So German turn 4. You have a rally test on your 12cm mortars on a 5-up.
No.
Hey, finally, and then 4 dice for reserves.
4 dice for reserves. Well, I rolled a 6, so I'll get 1 anyway.
Yep.
So bring on the, let's see.
Okay, so German movement. These guys did a cross-country dash and a follow me, rolling a 6. Remember, these guys are reluctant, and all this lot here have moved tactical to shoot at my infantry here. And we're going to be starting off, I think the OP is going to be ranging in on the Vickers heavy machine gun, so hopefully it's not too devastating, so we'll come back and find out. German shooting. So basically the Vesps ranged in first attempt over here, got 3 hits. I failed all 3 saves, and all 3 guys died. And then there was about 3 hits here on the infantry in the buildings. Now I started to roll my saves for firepower 6 weapons, but if it's a firepower 3, I can't pass anything. So we go into British turn 4. I have a motivation on the infantry platoon by here, who rally finally. I also have a motivation with a reroll on the Vickers heavy machine guns, who fail to rally. And then I have a last stand, which they pass, so not much use there. And I'm going to still hold on to the ambush for now. And I have 2 dice for reserves. None. So next turn I will get something, which I really desperately need. So first of all, going into movement, I'll try to dig these guys in, which they do, which is very surprising. I didn't think that would happen. So we'll continue on with British movement and see what happens. British movement, my first platoon is now all in this building. My HQ has left the template, which is going to finish off the Vickers or see the Vickers run away at some point. HQ did a follow me, but the 2IC doesn't want to know. We've seen these guys dig in, and these guys did a cross-country dash to get behind the woods. And that's it. So now what I'm going to be doing is repeating my bombardment again with the 3-inch mortars, and the Vickers might as well fire 2 shots if I'm in range, because they do have 24-inch range with their guns, onto the Fallschirmjäger, and that will probably be their last say of the game. Shooting, I missed with the 3-inch mortars, and I rolled a 5 and a 1 with the Vickers heavy machine guns, so needing a 7 was not enough. So we are into German turn 5. I wish this was a game where I could repel the attack, but no, because I'm expected to be launching in my own assault at some point. So starting with the Germans, you have 1 dice to rally your 12cm mortars. Okay, and your last reserves will be coming in either way, so we can get on with German movement. Okay, so German movement, just a little bit of shuffling up tactically with these guys, same with these. Fallschirmjäger moved, they tried to blitz first but failed, so they moved and spread out, and then AA half-tracks have moved up as well, doing a tactical move so they can shoot as they're coming in. So now the whole German forces on the board. My boys are really going to have to dig deep now. So we go into German shooting. Okay, so now German shooting summary. The Vesps went again for the poor Vickers heavy machine gun. They hit him, but I figured out how to roll a 3-up twice because of the repeat bombardment. And then the hailstorm went into this building, and there was a lot of failed saves from me, but it only resulted in 1 casualty because it is a 6-up firepower. Apart from these guys who fired long range and got 2 hits. So going into British turn 5, let's try and rally the platoon here. No, these guys do not like rallying. The Vickers heavy machine guns, they don't rally. Last stand on them, they stick around. And then I will be bringing in the ambush. I think, yeah, it's time to dish out some damage now. And 3 dice for reserves. So none, so I'll automatically get 1 in, so there's the paratroopers. But unfortunately my reserves are scattered, so let's see what I roll first. A 2, so basically 5, 6 is the town, and then we have 3 and 4 is the corner opposite, basically next to the town, so 1 and 2. So basically probably the best place I can go really with the glider troops, so that lot will be coming in, and then I'll put the 6-pounders in and we'll continue on with movement. So British movement, the glider troops moved on using a cross-country dash. I failed my follow me, I just can't roll a 3-up today, and it's evident with the paratroopers dropping. HQ's moved into this building, 2 ICs lagging behind. This is where I popped the 6-pounders. I wish I hadn't brought them in now, I wish I'd held on to them another turn or 2. And we have the jeeps moving back to their original position. So that is it. So now we're going to shoot in. At least now the 3-inch mortars might have a little target with the Fallschirmjäger, but I'm going to have another crack with the Vickers into them. Now it might be easy to hit them. And the 6-pounders will be going for these guys. Hopefully I can get them. They will have concealment. At least some of them might. And that will be it. So we'll find out what happens. Okay, so I started off with ranging in the 3-inch mortars. Ranged in first attempt, I only got 1 hit, but I actually got a kill. Vickers heavy machine gun, he's had his chances, but he missed twice on the easiest attempt he could have had. 6-pounders, got 4 hits. I got, one of them had a clear shot, and he had a 4 and a 6, and then the other guy rolled 2 6s, but it was tight angles, but I could see stuff. I failed 2 of my firepowers, but Charlie passed 3 of his infantry saves. So these guys need to get back in, otherwise the half-tracks are running, and these guys need to rally. But luckily the HQ is there as we go into German turn 6, and again wishing this was a repulse attack. So you need to remount your half-tracks, Charlie. They remount on a 6.
Only on a 6?
Mm-hmm.
I get 2 rolls, right? Because I HQ.
Yeah, roll 2 for the 2 units, and then any you fail, you can re-roll them again.
Alright. One gets back in.
Okay. And another one for a re-roll.
Yep. And he gets back in.
Oh. And then a rally test. So 2 dice for the infantry team, and they rally on a 5+.
Wow.
And then you have a rally test on the 12cm mortars, on the 12cm mortars as well.
No, they didn't rally mine.
And the Fallschirmjäger on a 3-up.
Yep, they rallied.
Okay, so we continue the advance. The Germans continue their assault. So German movement. So basically these guys move to here. Tactically, these guys tried to dig in and failed. Fallschirmjäger passed a blitz move and then moved tactically, and these guys also moved up as well. So we go into German shooting, and I've already been informed that the Vesps will be re-ranging in again. German shooting. Vesps ranged in first time down here using the OP. Of course, I failed 2 saves and lost 2 guys. Fallschirmjäger fired into the Vickers heavy machine gun, who survived. These guys got 3 hits on the 6-pounders, and I failed a save on each, and then 1 died, and I lost another guy in the building to small arms. So my ability to not roll a 3 up is very impressive. So we have rally tests to do. So the guys in the building have 2 dice now because the HQ is in there, and they pass. They would have passed both as well. The Vickers heavy machine gun has passed. The glider troops have passed. And then we're on to last stand. So the 6-pounder, 3 and a 2, which hopefully is enough. Yes, they're fearless. And the Vickers heavy machine gun gets a 5. And then my final reserves will arrive, but where? It's the same corner again down by here. So starting to get somewhere at last. So we will go into British movement. Ain't going to be much to move, to be honest. But I will try to dig in. These guys, oh no, I'm gonna move them. I don't want to be under that template. So we will continue on with British movement. British movement, I decided to just dig in the glider troops because these half tracks are they're going to be a nightmare. Howitzers have moved on by here. I moved the jeeps a tactical move because I'll be able to shoot at some of the Fallschirmjäger, hopefully. And that's it. So let's try and range in the mortars on the Fallschirmjäger again. Okay, so the 3-inch mortars failed to range in. The Vickers heavy machine gun managed to kill someone, get a few hits as well, and the jeeps managed to get enough to pin, but no more kills. The 6-pounder managed to take out an AA half-track, but I think it's probably game over for him since they're short-range stationary, so yeah. But that's it, so now we go into German turn 7. You have a rally test on the Fallschirmjäger on a 3+. And a 5+ rally on the 12cm mortars.
Oh yeah. No.
Okay. So we continue into the German assault. German movement, the 3 guys who were dismounted have moved up to get into STG range, and the Fallschirmjäger are moving up to finish off their Vickers heavy machine gun. That is still there, has surprised us all. With his ability to fail rallies but pass last stands and to not hit much. But there he is. So we go into German shooting. German shooting. The hailstorm has gone into the building again. This time, haven't killed anyone. They pinned though. Half tracks with their 10 shots, got 5 hits on the 6-pounder. I failed 2, but somehow it didn't kill anyone. And the Vickers heavy machine gun is still alive. And surprise, surprise, the Vesps didn't hit anyone either. This is a really change of fortunes for me. And now we have an assault with the Fallschirmjäger. They're putting 4 teams into the building. And my Vickers heavy machine gun has 6 defensive fire shots. I don't think I'm going to get any. So we'll find out what happens. Basically, I got 2 hits. Didn't result to anything. And he got well and truly clobbered by the Fallschirmjäger. So they moved into the buildings. 1 guy moved back just so he's in bulletproof cover from the jeeps. So now we go into British turn 7. Right, so nothing over here was damaged, which is nice for a change. So we have the 6-pounder. Does it rally? It doesn't. Do the guys in the building rally? They don't. Do the 6-pounder last stand? Luckily it does. That's where the 3s come into it. And that will be it for my turn. Not my turn, my movement, my startup step. There will be some movement, so we'll see what happens. Okay, British movement. The Vickers heavy machine guns just did a little shuffle around, not the Vickers, the jeeps. And everything else is staying put. There's not much to do with them, to be honest. So we will try ranging in some stuff. So the 3-inch mortars are going to try and range in on the Fallschirmjäger. The howitzers are going to try and range in on the Fallschirmjäger. And yeah, we'll see if I'm effective with any of that. Okay, so British shooting. I ranged in the 3-inch mortars in between the buildings, got a bunch of hits and no kills. The howitzers ranged in, the 2IC ranged into their second attempt, managed to kill the guy who was outside, and the jeeps with 24 shots hitting on 5s got 1 hit. And I had a potential chance, but I didn't get it. And the 6-pounder missed its shot. So that is it. So we're going into German turn 8. We'll do the motivations next, and we continue with what will be a very, very long game. Luckily, we're already doing summaries. German motivation. The Fallschirmjäger have rallied. This is actually the following day. My head is a little bit better today. And I realised the mistakes I've been making. These guys have not rallied, so we're going into German movement. Okay then, so German movement. The platoon of these guys here are moving up to assault. They've left their half-tracks, and the other half-tracks have moved around to provide covering fire, and the HQ's moved up close enough to provide re-rolls for the motivation. And that's it, so we go into shooting. Let's see how damaging this is going to be. When shooting, the Vesps ranged in just to get more meat under the template. They got a bunch of hits, but my saves are starting to get a bit better. A day of rest has improved. Loads of fire went into the building. Platoon's pinned, HQ isn't, and the 6-pounder survives another day. And the Fallschirmjäger have decided to go to ground and rest up there. So we go in. Is there going to be an assault, Charlie?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's see what happens with this. Miracle. My defensive fire actually worked. I got 5 hits exactly. Turns out the 6-pounder has HE now. Very strange. Maybe the 6-pounders with Frost guys decided to actually bring it along. Either that or it's just a typo on the card. So that's it then. So we go into British turn 8. Motivation time, the 6-pounder. Will you decide to rally? It does. Platoon in the building, will you rally? You won't. Glider troops, yes. 6-pounder last stand. 5 and a 6. Very, very keen to keep on going. So platoon doesn't rally. Why? I don't know. And that is it. So we will go into British movement if there is any, and we'll come back. Okay, so British movement. The guys in the woods have moved over to these woods, and my recce jeeps have gone to hide. So, and my HQ's moved up into the top of the building, so basically my howitzers can use that ranging point, but he'll be +1 harder because they can't see the ranging in point themselves. But that's what it is going to be. So shooting wise, let's pummel into that building a little bit more, and I think these guys are actually going to start shooting out of the building, which is going to be a bit harder for me when the return fire comes, but these guys are out of the half-tracks now, so hopefully I can whittle some down. Okay, British shooting. As you can see down here, I fired. My Piat managed to hit the HQ half-track. All I did was bail it out. Killed 2 of the STG teams. 6-pounder missed his shots again. And I managed to kill 1 of the Fallschirmjägers and pin them again. So that is it. So now we go into German motivation. This half-track needs to pass, otherwise they'll have to go to the rear. German motivation. Well, they had a bit of a lull this turn, so the half-track didn't get back in. It won't need to do a last stand because it's a HQ unit, I guess. But yeah, you'll probably dismount into the building and send the half-track to the rear and then get it back next turn. These guys did not rally. These guys did not rally, and even the Fallschirmjäger did not rally. So we go into German turn 9, and there's really no point in keeping track anymore. Okay, so German movement, the guys who were pinned have pulled back into this building. The HQ have also joined them and sent their half-track to the rear. The guys who are here moved back to here, and that is it. So basically, the Vesps are going to be ranging in here, because it's time for the artillery to do the work instead. So we'll come back to see if this one is more effective. Okay, so German shooting. They rearranged in final attempt, so 3 attempts. They got 1 hit on the rifle team, but they were pinned anyway. Actually, no casualties this time. A few hits going in here and there, but the German firepower is slowly whittling away. I am worried that Charlie Al's just had a cup of coffee, which will break him back up a bit. But we go into British turn. I'm going to get rid of the turn counter because it doesn't really matter anymore, and I'll probably forget the turn it at some point. So we go into British turn. We have a rally test on the infantry in the building, who finally rally. And then we have a last stand test on the 6-pounder that is more than happy to stick around and keep missing everything. So we go into British movement, and I need to start doing something. Okay, so British movement, the glider troops did a blitz move and then tactically moved either side of the lake. These guys are dug in. My jeeps did a cross-country dash to hide there, and the infantry have left the building because I don't want to be under repeat bombardment from a Vesp. The Piat has moved closer so I can actually shoot at the half track. Can't just about see him. There will be a concealed shot, so it'll be a Hail Mary. And that is it. So we go into British shooting. Okay, shooting wise, howitzers repeating their bombardment, got a hit but no kills. I rearranged my mortars on this building. 3rd attempt, so I only got 1 hit. Oh, I had a chance to kill, but nothing. Piat missed. 6-pounder missed again. So we go into German turn, and they got a bunch of motivations. 2 of them are reluctant, so we'll see if it works. Okay, motivation. The 12cm mortars have finally rallied, so that's big news there. And the Fallschirmjäger have rallied, but these guys in the building, no, they don't want to know. So that is it. So we go into German movement. Okay, so 12cm mortars ranged in here, got a hit, so pinned. These guys got pinned with a combination of all the half-tracks firing into them, but no casualties. And that is it. So we go into British turn. So let's see if I can rally the glider troops. They do. Can I glider the others? Can I rally the infantry platoon? No. Can the 6-pounder stick around? It does. So this platoon isn't a happy platoon. So we will go into British movement. Okay then, so movement is as such. So my infantry won't probably do anything this turn by here. They'll go to ground. Hopefully that 6 up will save them. Jeeps have done a tactical move so they can fire into the building. These guys fill the blitz, but they moved behind the tree line so they can't be seen this way, but these guys are going to get in a bit of trouble. And that's it. So we're going to go into shooting. My artillery is going to be the main thing, and maybe this will be the turn the 6-pounder hits something, but we'll see. Okay then, British shooting. My repeat bombardment with my mortars was fairly good. I managed to kill one of the Sturm Panzer Grenadiers and the 2 IC from the Germans. My howitzers managed to bag another Fallschirmjäger. My 6-pounder took out another AA, so there's 1 still there. And that is it. So we go now into German motivation, where we have a last stand with the AA half-tracks, but they've still got plenty of firepower, and these guys are in the open and not looking happy. German motivation, all units have rallied, but the AA half-track has run away, which so far is my first unit kill of the game. So onwards and upwards now, I hope, or is it just going to go spiraling out of control? So we come into German movement. Okay, German movement, the Grenadiers have moved up to try and get to this objective to hold it, and these half-tracks have moved to get rid of these 3 glider troops. So that is it. So we now go into shooting, and I've been informed that there's a lot of artillery going on this lot by here. German shooting, the unit is pinned, put the pin marker up there. I lost 1 guy. The Vesps failed the range in for the 2nd turn on this spot, but the 12cm ranged in. But they last attempt, and they didn't hit anything, unfortunately for them. So we go into British turn. We have some motivation. So the glider troops need to rally. They do. That platoon that really doesn't like rallying rallies, and actually rallied twice, and the 6-pounder keeps in the fight. So thank you for that. So we keep on going with British movement. Okay, British movement. These guys move back to this objective. Some of the glider troops now are in this building, and in the foxholes. The other platoon is moving over here. Jeeps did a successful blitz move and moved to there. I couldn't see anything with the howitzers, so they've dug in, and plus the HQ moved. And I'm just going to repeat my bombardments on the building, and the 6-pounder can see the one half track because they've been firing at me. So we'll attempt that, and then we'll see what the end of the turn looks like. Okay, British shooting. Basically, the 3-inch mortars are having a blinder because I've almost killed the HQ, and I got this platoon down to last standing, which is quite nice. And the 6-pounder managed to bail a half track. One hit off pinning the Fallschirmjäger, but that's all I can do there, unfortunately. So we go into German motivation. Some clinch motivations coming up. So let's see how they go. German motivation. The Stern platoon and their half tracks did so well. They got in on a 6, rallied on a 5, but then ran away. And the HQ has rallied as well. So we go into German movement, where what are they going to do is the question for Charlie. German movement, the half tracks are moved up to fire on the jeeps, and the grenadiers are continuing their mad dash to try and cover this open objective. So it's all clinch on whether artillery can knock out the jeeps and the infantry before they get to do anything, but we will see. So we come back after German shooting. Okay, so everything piled in here. Luckily I have 2 jeeps remaining, thankfully. So we go into British movement. Motivation and movement. Actually, I am going to move the HQ, but leaving the 2 IC put, so for all important motivations. 6-pounder, actually, I don't think I did a last stand with him. Oh, actually, the 6-pounder runs away. Okay, and the infantry rallied, but the glider troops are now in this building. Jeeps are on the objective, and infantry have moved up, and the HQ will move up as well. So I will move him 8 inches and do a follow me over. But the 2 IC is going to stay put so he can spot for artillery, and that is it. So then we'll go into shooting, and I will be firing a smoke bombardment. Will be my first thing I'll be doing. Okay then, so smoke went off. I ranged in the 3-inch mortars on the final attempt, got 2 hits, which actually gave me 2 kills, so quite surprising that. I managed to knock out one of the half-track, I bailed out one of the half-tracks with the Piats in this building, and that is it for my turn. So the all-important rallying step for the Germans will be coming up next. German movement, the Grenadiers rallied and did a blitz move, so 3 of the teams got through the smoke, 2 didn't. So it's all whether they can get rid of the jeeps or not. And then we got 3 half tracks moving to try and get rid of the paratroopers by there. So artillery won't really be able to do anything because the smoke they can't see. But the artillery have got plenty of other targets. So we'll come back and see if the Germans have dislodged these 2 teams. Okay then, German shooting summary. Lots of ranging in here. I lost a Piat. These guys over here pummeled into the infantry with 3 hits, but I saved them. And then, thanks to the smoke concealment gone to ground, these guys only received 1 hit. And I managed to roll that all-important Pegasus symbol, and I got my save. So that means I end within 4 and when I come into my turn. So there'll be no last stands there. And basically that's game. I've lost a fair few units though. So I've lost the 6-pounders and the Vickers. So it's only a 7-2 victory. But that was the only way I could win it, Charlie. Only way. Man of the match for you. So I pick your one. It'd probably be the 12 if the 12 centimeter mortars had rallied more, I'd have probably given it to them, but I think the Vesps probably had your best game.
Yeah.
So who is the man of the match for me?
effective.
Yeah, they literally did what they had to do. Yeah. But if I had to pick, I'd probably give it to the 3-inch mortars. They had an exceptionally good game, but yeah, the Vickers are the ones who won me the match.